listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Hey, welcome everybody to the pre-Thanksgiving show of Sweep the League. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Hall of Famer Derek Irvin. We're going to be talking tonight about CFP, obviously, and the NFL. We're going to get our Pickems in non-Sweep the League fashion. It's going to be a quick show. We're going to get our picks in. We're going to give everybody some Thanksgiving love, maybe a little bit of a tad bit of Spurs talk, NBA talk. But we got a lot to get done. I know I've got to get to the kitchen and do my stuff with the wifey. So, we're going to make it a good, quick show tonight. So shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Let's bring him on right now. It is Derek Irvin. Derek, what is up, man? You ready for Thanksgiving?
Hey, man. Everything's well. It's a fantastic night and happy holidays, everybody.
I know. Did the holidays get you going? You know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, even New Year's?
Every day gets me going, my man. I'm just happy to be a part of the next day. So the holiday is here. I hope the other people, it's family time, and
yeah,
I just hope everybody enjoys it. But I'm happy to be here every single day.
Man, it seems like every Thanksgiving, it's like football, non-football. You're going to get football tomorrow. They have the Black Friday NFL game now. Where it's the Chiefs and Raiders, and you have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, then you end it with a Monday night game. So it's crazy, man. You know, before we go on to our pick'ems, because we're going to make it a pretty quick show tonight, because we got some Thanksgiving prep to do here before tomorrow. But you had called me a little while ago, and you said, how many games would it take for the Spurs to insert Devin Vassell back into the starting lineup? I told you 5, but nonetheless, if they go on a 2-game losing streak, you're saying it's right away.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just got to give him a chance to get back in shape. The only reason he's not starting is because he's been out so long, and I feel once he gets back in rhythm, I mean, he's a second-best player. So it only makes sense to me. You got to get him back in the starting lineup. Even if you look at him tonight against the Lakers, when he's in there, the game is different. So he's a guy that can score off the dribble. He defends. I mean, he can knock down the three. He's a second-best player. So I say, yeah, you got to get him back in the lineup.
You know, and this is it's a good stretch for the Spurs right now. I mean, you've got the Lakers that are playing tonight, and let's check. They're down by 10 to the Lakers. After this Laker game, they kind of go, I want to say it's on the road a little bit, isn't it? They have Sacramento on the road. And they got Phoenix on the road. So this is going to be a really tough 3-game stretch with the Lakers tonight, Sacramento, Phoenix. Then they come home for Chicago just to go right back up against Sacramento. So these 5 games are going to be a pretty good task for the San Antonio Spurs. Do you see Devin maybe starting against Phoenix on that 3rd game possibly? Because, I mean, with Beal, Booker, and Durant, they're probably going to have to get off to a pretty quick start.
I think it depends on this game tonight in Sacramento. If they were to continue to play well, they cut the lead down tonight. So we'll see what happens in the 4th quarter. But either way, man, you got to go with your best lineup. And then they still going to have to make a decision when Sohan comes back. So they got to start figuring out. Mitch Johnson's got a task on his hands, figure out what's his best the first 5. But, of course, to me, Devin is a part of that, and they paid him to be a part of that. So maybe Sacramento, by Phoenix, hopefully he'll be back in the lineup. They're going to need his scoring. They're going to need it early. So I'm just being honest. So, yeah, I would get him back in the lineup as soon as it looked like his condition is up to par. Yeah, you get him in there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing, and I'm actually pointing to Phoenix as the game that you probably will see Devin start again. Now, they made mention of probably not playing back-to-backs pretty soon. So after Phoenix, it's December 5th and 6th is Chicago, then Sacramento. Would it surprise you to maybe see Devin resting or load management on the Chicago game? I mean, it probably is a game they may not need him for.
If they're not going to play him back-to-back right away, definitely Chicago's the game that you rest him, because that should be the game. The other guys should be able to step up and make it happen without him. The Sacramento game is going to be tough, especially in Sacramento. Yeah. But if I was going to pick one game out of the next 4 or 5, it would definitely be the Chicago game, a team they should be able to beat if they're 80%, to be honest, 85% as a team.
Man, you sure would hope so, especially in Chicago with all the struggles, man. We're going to make this, like I said, a kind of a quick show, kind of get everything going here. We want to get our picks in here. Then get ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. We won't be on tomorrow, obviously. Friday we won't be on, but we're going to be doing a lot of reruns of Sweep Unplugged. All of our interviews are going to be going, a live show with Chuck Vans. We got other stuff that we'll be doing. So be sure to go to our YouTube page and be a subscriber. Search Sweep League TV. Catch myself, catch Derek on there. We're just having a whole lot of fun is what we're doing here at Sweep the League. And we're just continuing to grow, man. It's getting crazy, Derek. It's getting crazy. I want to let everybody know that at the end of December, we have a small announcement, not really no time frame per se, but we want to let everybody know that 2025 is going to be pretty big, and our producers in the background they started the plan that we've been working on for a while. So you may be seeing myself and Derek on a lot of other channels probably. So we're getting all that going. We're getting excited about this, but we have everything in play. We're just trying to get it all worked out. So hopefully our producers will make it happen, man. That's going to be I don't know. I'm hoping to get us a desk where we can sit at a desk, but I don't think we can go that far just yet. Like Stephen.
One day at a time, one step at a time.
It is one day at a time for sure, man. You know what? Let's not waste any more time, man. Let's get into our picks here because I already have my wife texting me left and right saying, have you made your picks yet? Have you made your picks? I need help with the ham. I need help with the turkey. I need help with this. I'm like, come on, man. You got to give me a break here. Got to give me a break. Let's get into some picks here. We're going to go straight to our NCAA picks like we do every single week. We're doing top 25. If you want to share your picks, go to Twitter, go to X, whatever the kids are calling it, at Sweep the League. Drop your picks in there. First is first, man. Top 25 game, Derek. It's going on tomorrow. Memphis and Tulane. Tulane is the team in the American Conference everybody's looking at, but Memphis was that team. Do we maybe see an upset here with Memphis and Tulane?
At this point, man, I'm going to have to go, Memphis has been a good team all year, but I'm going to start it off with an upset, if that's considered an upset. I'm going to take Tulane to win that game.
Sorry, my mic was off. You went with Tulane. Well,
Tulane.
I know Tulane's the ranked team here. Memphis was ranked in the beginning, but I'm going to say not so fast. You take Tulane. I'm going to take Memphis. I think the Tigers are ready to come back.
Doesn't Tulane have 2 losses and Memphis has 1?
Memphis has 2. They both have 2 losses.
Memphis already has 2. Oh, yeah. See, I missed the last. I was at the basketball games. I missed the last one. I'm definitely going with Tulane.
Tulane. Now, one of those losses happened to be against your Roadrunner. So
yeah,
I think
UTSA. So Tulane. I'm going with the Green Wave.
Green Wave, Oklahoma State, OSU going to Colorado to play those Buffaloes. Pretty much Dion not really playing much or nothing but a bowl game right here. I mean, I'm going to take Colorado for the bounce back on this one.
Man, OSU, that's a guy by the name of Mike Gundy. I think Colorado loses 2 in a row. I'm going to go Oklahoma State. Are they playing in Oklahoma State?
No, it's in Colorado.
They're playing in Colorado.
In Boulder.
All right, well, they playing in Colorado. This is one of those games I told you about, the home or the road matters. So I'm going to go Colorado. They get off the snide and they get a victory.
All right, so he's going Colorado right there. So you're taking the home team in that one. So far, we only have one difference in the first 2 games here. Next, we go to Oregon State and Boise State. Now, Oregon State, this is where Boise's kind of playing a little bit. You know, are they going to get upset here? I'm not going to put our upset alert on this one. Not yet. I may change my mind Friday morning. But I'm going to go reluctantly with Boise State on this one.
This is another tough one, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Heisman Trophy guy. He's in the running. I think he's going to have a big game, so I'm going to go Boise State.
You know, it's crazy. We talked about both teams, Colorado and Boise State, a little while ago. They both have the Heisman, the 1-2 Heisman guys. Everybody's making the case that Travis Hunter should be the Heisman winner based on the fact that he's playing two-way football. I don't buy that.
I don't buy that either.
I think Genty has the edge on Travis Hunter right now. If you had to take a vote and you had to give the Heisman to somebody, which one would it be, Hunter or Genty? Because for me, it'd be
because if you take Genty off of Boise State, I don't believe they're half the team that they are. And Travis, I still think Colorado will still be pretty good without him. So, man, it depends on how they finish. But right now, I'm gonna give Hunter the slight edge. But it depends on how they finish.
Yeah, I can get with that for sure. I think you're right. Genty probably means more to the Boise State than Colorado than Hunter does to Colorado. I think
2,000 yards, Rudy. I mean,
that's a lot of yards, man.
That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards. Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Speaking about yards and touchdowns, Jackson Dart. This is somewhere where I'm thinking Ole Miss. You know, they're going to get to 9 wins. It's going to happen here. I don't see them losing to Mississippi State.
Ole Miss has to win because if they lose, the playoff chances are done. So I'm going with Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Now, this is where I have my light going off here. Georgia Tech and Georgia. We've seen Georgia Tech already pull off some upsets on the year. And they've been some big upsets on the year. Does it happen to Georgia? Georgia's a very difficult team to prepare for this year. We see the barn burners and everything, the busters that they played in Austin, but then you get those Georgia teams where it's like, what are you doing? I can guarantee this, Derek, a Georgia team will win this game.
Kirby's got to have them ready, Rudy.
I'm going to say Georgia without the Tech wins, but it's going to be a tough one.
I'm going with Georgia. I just think Kirby Smart's going to have them ready. He knows how big this game is, and I don't think they want a repeat of what's been going on with Alabama. So he's going to have his guys pumped up, and I'm going with Georgia.
If Georgia loses, does that knock them out?
Sadly, I'll say no, because they keep trying to keep these SEC and Alabama in there, and sadly, I'm going to say no, but I don't think Kirby even wants to get to that point and put it in the voters' hands. I say Georgia comes out ready to play, and they win the game.
It's Thanksgiving weekend. It's not Thanksgiving without chaos. So come on, Georgia Tech. Give us a little chaos for Thanksgiving weekend here. Illinois Northwestern, Derek. Who you got in that game?
Wow. Oh, man. I'm going to go with the Fighting Illini now.
Taking Illinois. You know what? I'm going to do the same there. I think Illinois has been playing good all year. They're 8-3. They're getting ready for the bowl games there. So I'm definitely taking Illinois over Northwestern. Oh, God, the game that you love so much year in, year out. A little bit different now because the records are a little bit tougher and a little bit swayed a little here. Michigan going into the Horseshoe, Columbus, Ohio, coming off of that big win over Indiana. And I wonder if the Hoosiers sent a gift basket to the Wolverines and said, please put it to these guys here. Do us a favor. Do you give Michigan any opportunity? Now, screw the records. Remember, it's a rivalry game. We've seen teams go, 2-9 on the year, come out with rivalry games, and they make it happen.
Well, I know we've been playing Ohio State very well the last couple of years. We had a 10-year drought, but I just don't think our roster measures up this year. So I think the Buckeyes win this game convincingly.
I'm going to take Ohio State, too. I'm hoping that Michigan plays well and comes out for the win, but I'm taking Ohio State. South Carolina, Clemson. Very, very big game.
Toughest game for me to pick.
This is a very, very hard game. Clemson is right there. They're trying to get in. Technically, they're not in the CFP. They're ranked number 12, but they're the team that's out because you've got Arizona State that sneaks in because of the conference win, the conference title. So Clemson kind of gets screwed here. They need a win. They got to win to have any hope here. But I'm going to say this, Derek. Dabo, great coach, everything like that. But there's no team out there. Well, there's two other ones, but there's one team out there other than South Carolina that's very hot. It's ASU, Arizona State.
Don't disrespect Kansas like that.
No disrespect. No disrespect. But when I'm talking about ranked teams, there's two ranked teams.
Yeah, well, it's only two of them. Yeah, Arizona.
I'm going to stick with a hot hand. Give me South Carolina to go in to Memorial Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina, and give the committee something to think about here.
Look at me, man. This one is a head scratcher.
This puts them over Alabama. It's got to.
This is the toughest game of all to pick for me. Man, because South Carolina's been so hot. But this game means so much to Clemson. And if you look at the history of Clemson, Dabo's going to have them ready. But, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Clemson, man.
He's going with Clemson. You got to go with the veteran play there with Dabo.
I just think it's time for a little letdown by South Carolina. Man. And I think, the history of Clemson, I'm going to go with Dabo to win this one.
He's going with Dabo, and I'm going with Gamecocks there. Tennessee Vanderbilt. Again, let's get the light out. This one has upset alert all over it here because Vandy is super tough. In Gio's words, it's a very tough place to play in Nashville, Tennessee, First Bank Stadium. But Tennessee's been looking good all year. I don't think they have a slip up against Vanderbilt. I think they win by a field goal. By a field goal. I'm taking Tennessee for the win.
Well, Skip Bayless is going with Vandy, of course, his Commodores.
Yeah, so, I would blame him.
I'm going to go the opposite of Skip this time. I think it's going to, like you said, I think this game's going to come down to the last possession. I'm going to go Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Vols.
Going with the Vols here. Another big game. Arizona State, Arizona, rivalry game. Throw out the records. Arizona State, one of the hottest teams in all of college football. I love Arizona, but I love to put State at the end of this victory here for this weekend. I'm taking the Sun Devils and the Fighting Bobby Hurley's Arizona State.
45-21 Arizona State. I'm going with the Sun Devils.
Who else was an Arizona State player? We normally name basketball players. Was Mario Bennett an Arizona State player?
That was a while, but I think that's been a while. I believe he was, but
I think he was.
You have to go back, And for some reason, man, I just think Arizona's not the team that they were. This was like last season. I would give Arizona a much better shot, but this year I just don't think they've been the same team. So, I think Arizona State wins this game convincingly.
Arizona State getting this win this weekend. Arkansas, always a tough team going up against Missouri. Missouri's fighting. Both these teams are in a bowl game. They both got 6 wins. They're both bowl bound right now. I'm gonna take Missouri to end the year off on a good note here. Even though I like Arkansas, I've liked them all year for a little while, a few of their games, but give me Missouri for the win.
I'm taking Missouri as well. I think they pull this game off. It's a big game for them. You don't want to be 6-7. So I think Missouri's been a better team this year than Arkansas. So I'm gonna give Missouri a slight edge. Missouri by 10.
Missouri by 10. I like that. Auburn, Bama. This is again, you throw the records out. Even though Auburn's 5-6, Bama's 8-3. You throw the records out. I'm gonna go with the Fighting Nick Sabans here, and we're gonna go Roll Tide Roll. But this is why South Carolina is so big. That win against Clemson means more than a win over Auburn, and the committee should see that and say, "Screw you, Bama. We're ranking South Carolina higher than you after this weekend." But give me Bama.
After scoring 3 points last week,
they got to bounce back.
They can only, that's why I'm picking them. They can only go up. I mean, the only way they can go down is to not score at all. So, I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide. Man, I hate to do it, but I'm going to go out.
Roll Tide, roll. California, SMU.
Hey, Rudy, I don't know about rolling now, but.
They're rolling into a bowl game. That's just about all they're doing this year.
They're going to roll out of the top 12 for good.
I think SMU beats California. They're going to stay in the college football playoffs. They're going to end the season great. Go to 11-1. Give me SMU to beat California.
I don't think SMU is a great team. I think they're a pretty good team, but I think they beat the Golden Bears. So, yes, I'm going to go with SMU.
Same thing with Penn State. Probably one of the more overrated teams, I think, on the year still, even though, I consider them. Maryland's a tough team, but University Park, Pennsylvania. I'm going to take Penn State in this one.
Any week, man, you worry about a Notre Dame or Penn State, but this week I'm not as worried. I'll take the Nittany Lions.
My toughest game of the week was South Carolina and Clemson. But this was my extra tough game, Miami and Syracuse.
Oh, boy.
Playing in Syracuse, the GMA Wireless Dome. Derek, this is a game where I definitely see Miami struggling in this game.
Well, you know that they're going to struggle in the first half regardless.
And that's the problem, because if Syracuse gets off to a fast start, they can control the clock. They're really good at that. This is one of those teams where Cam Ward's got to come to play. This entire Hurricane team has to play. And I hate to do this, but I'm going with Syracuse as my upset of the week.
I don't even know if it'll be that big an upset at this point, because we know that Miami could easily have 4 losses, maybe 5. But I like their team, man. I want Cam Ward to do well. I mean, he played at Incarnate Word.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with them to win this game. I have to pick them. I'm going with Cam Ward and company, Miami Hurricanes.
Taking Cam Ward. Notre Dame, USC. Another great game. Notre Dame going across the pond. Notre Dame going across the
upset alert.
I'm taking the Fighting Irish, but I think you're taking somebody else, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm taking Southern Cal. This is the upset alert. I'm going with the Trojans.
You're going with the Fighting Snoop Dogs.
Yeah, I'm going with the home team again. This is, I think Lincoln Riley's going to have his guys ready. They want to finish strong, and I think it's an upset week.
Upset week, and we're not going to expect, hopefully, an upset in this next one as we go to Indiana and Purdue. Indiana, the Fighting Curtis Rourkes. I'm taking the Hoosiers to bounce back. I'm not going to lie. I think Cignetti is going to probably put a very big smackdown on Purdue for what happened last week and basically give the committee and all of the Ohio State Buckeye Nation the middle finger by laying probably 60+ on Indiana. On Purdue.
Goodness. I don't see that happening, but I'm hoping it's going to be bounce back week. But you got to remember now, Rudy, they've been exposed.
Yeah.
I just don't think Purdue can match up for 4 quarters. So for that reason alone, I'm not going to pick Purdue. I'm going to go with Indiana, but I don't know about a smackdown. 60 points. I don't see that happening.
They got to do what The Rock does and lay that smackdown. Another top 25 matchup, Kansas State against Iowa State. In the I don't really give a damn who wins bowl, but I'm going to go with the better team. I'm going to go with Iowa State in this one.
So am I. Going with the Cyclones.
Low with the Cyclones. We are matching on that one. We've got the return of one of the greatest rivalries. You talk Duke, North Carolina. You talk Michigan, Ohio State. You always used to talk Texas A&M. The Thanksgiving special. It is back. Everybody in Texas is excited for this, whether you're a Longhorn fan, an Aggie fan, or just a fan of college football. You get up for this. I love A&M in this game, but I'm not crazy. I'm going to take Texas, but the whole Quinn Ewers thing scares the crap out of me.
I'm telling you, man.
It's terrible.
Are they playing? Where are they playing? In Texas A&M?
They are playing in Kyle Field, man.
The 12th man.
Oh, 12th man. I almost put A&M at the end of my pick. I wrote Texas.
If Sarkisian wasn't the coach, I wouldn't even have a question on this game. Man, it's so hard playing the 12th man. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to go with the Longhorns.
He's going Longhorns.
Yeah.
You and I are both kind of like, oh, man, I don't know. We'll take the Longhorns, but reluctantly, we'll take the Longhorns.
Yeah, reluctantly, really, yeah.
Washington getting face-to-face with a former foe, and that would be Oregon here, back in the nice little West Coast side for Oregon. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to even go over this game. I think we're both taking Oregon in this game.
How about those Oregon Ducks? They stay undefeated, and then we see what happens next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. If it's going to be Ohio State or even Indiana, if Ohio State loses, that means the Hoosiers sneak in. Nevada, UNLV, I'm going with the Running Rebels. The Fighting Stacey Augmans are going to win this game.
Las Vegas? I'll go with the Running Rebels. I think they're the better team. So, yeah, I'll go with them this week, yes.
Ending the college football week with Houston and BYU. I'm going BYU just to get that 10th win.
BYU is kind of falling off these last few weeks.
They sure have.
Man, I'm going to go with them because I think their offense is going to give Houston problems. And, of course, they have a coach doesn't mind gambling on fourth down. So I think that'll be important this week. I'm going to go with Brigham Young.
Taking Brigham Young. Those are our college football picks. If you want to drop them on Twitter, all you do is @SweepTheLeague, drop your college football picks. Go perfect. You're getting a grand prize from here.
Hey, Rudy, I'm sorry. What's Brigham Young's name? Brigham Young what?
You had to ask me that.
Isn't it the Cougars?
Yeah, it is the Cougars.
So is it the Cougars versus the Cougars?
So the Cougars are going to win.
Houston Cougars versus Brigham Young Cougars?
That is right. Why is it I couldn't remember the Brigham Young?
So the Cougars are going to win, but yeah, I'm going to go Brigham Young.
We're moving on over here. Shout out to MCS General Contracting. We're getting our picks in because we got to get into the kitchen here in a little bit. NFL Week 13, Derek. It's the first game of NFL football. You're going Bears, you're going Lions in the Lions tradition of being the first game for Thanksgiving. Not only are you going to be one of the first to enjoy turkey and everything, you're going to be one of the first to enjoy, in my opinion, a Lions victory because I'm taking the Lions, no questions asked.
I'm hoping we don't have a slip up. Caleb Williams has actually played well the last few weeks.
He has.
Kind of got himself back in the Rookie of the Year voting, at least in the voting. But you know where I'm going, man. As we say in Detroit, what up, though? The Lions.
Oh, yeah. You're going with the Fighting Barry Sanders. Giants and Cowboys. Now, the Giants can't obviously beat the Cowboys. Cowboys are on a high right now. They're coming off beating Jaden Daniels, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates. They had a very good game in the fourth quarter, albeit it was the fourth quarter of all fourth quarters of the year. There's no way the Giants can come in. Tommy DeVito's not even playing, but Drew Lock is. And you know what I've always felt was when you have problems like Malik Neighbors calling out coaches and calling out this, teams tend to bounce back on a good week for that.
You going?
Why am I writing the Giants on the?
I like Drew Lock, man. I think he's the guy we're going to be talking about in the future. I think the Giants are going to be motivated. I know the Cowboys, I believe they had 4 sacks last week. Micah had 2. Parsons had 2 sacks.
Yeah.
But, man, I'm going upset. I'm going Giants.
You and I.
It's really not an upset. I'm going Giants.
You and I thinking alike on that one. Dolphins and Packers to end Thanksgiving night for us here. Man, the Packers have been looking really good. But, the Dolphins are the type of sneaky team that can come up and possibly get a victory. I don't think they do in Lambeau. Give me the Packers this weekend.
So it's going to be cold. And for that alone, if they were playing on a neutral field, or they were playing like in Florida or somewhere, I think I'd go with Miami. But the fact that they're playing in Lambeau Field, I got to go with Jordan Love and company.
We're both taking the Packers. And then you have the Black Friday game, the Raiders and the Chiefs. Aiden O'Connell making his start for the
Raiders.
Raider Nation getting really hyped up for this. Just to see them come up a tad bit short. Give me the Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't like the Chiefs at all, but I want them to get smacked around by the Raiders, but they have Patrick Mahomes, so I have to. And then you got Mr. Jones on the defense. I got to go with the Chiefs reluctantly.
One of the better games secretly is the Cardinals and Vikings this weekend. Cardinals coming off of a very tough game last week. And, of course, Sam Darnold playing not really truly MVP caliber, but he's in the talk. He's in discussions. He's not the true MVP of the league right now, but he's in discussions. I like the Vikings this week. I'm going to take Minnesota.
You have to look at the positive. If Sam Darnold, I don't want him to get hurt, but if he were to get hurt, guess who's the backup already? Daniel Jones.
Wow, that's right.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. Rudy, people, we have to talk about that on the next show. How people were like, because remember how Sam Darnold, everybody gave up on him with the Jets.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this after the holiday. Is this another situation where maybe this gives Daniel Jones a chance to resurrect his career? So I'm going with the Vikings.
Very possibly, because sometimes a change of scenery is what people need. I mean, you go to a different team, you're kind of successful. And it takes a couple of teams sometimes to find it. Baker's finding his stride in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was with the Browns.
And the same might happen with Daniel Jones. Maybe But I don't wish anything bad on Sam Darnold. But you got two guys that a lot of people gave up on, and now to see them on the same team is a good thing. And I think the Vikings win that game, and they win that convincingly. I'm going with the Vikings.
Texans and Jaguars in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, this is one of those games where I'm thinking Jacksonville gets up for it. Maybe they can get a win over the Texans. Texans have kind of been faltering a little bit, and lately you've seen a little bit of slip-ups from the Texans, but I'm going to go with the Texans and DeMeco Ryans to bounce back. Give me the Texans.
The only thing now about the Texans is I don't take them serious anymore in the as far as being a team that can contend for the title.
No.
But I do take them to win this game. Yeah, I'll go with the Texans.
Colts and Patriots. It's hard to trust Anthony Richardson. Patriots on the rise. I think I'm gonna go with the Patriots again. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I'm going with the Patriots over the
Drake May, right?
I like Drake May. I do like Drake May. I'm
gonna go with this game though. I think I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think they get off to a good start, and I think Patriots have to play catch up. I'm gonna take the Colts.
Chargers and Falcons. Yeah, I don't like the Falcons this year. They're just playing bad, right?
No, you're really not gonna like them after this one.
Yeah, Chargers need to bounce back game. They played Baltimore good for a while there. Then Baltimore came out and spanked them pretty good. I expect Kirk Cousins to have a good game. This game right here, I expect Bijan to be pretty decent, but definitely not good enough. It's going to be the fighting hardballs. In my pick, the Chargers beat the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I'm going with the Chargers.
Steelers and Bengals, an AFC North rivalry.
Tough game.
Very tough game because the Bengals are the best 4-7 team I think I've seen in a long, long time. Do they come up with a victory over Pittsburgh? It's in Cincinnati. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Lamar Chase.
Do I dare do it? I think I do. Give me the Bengals to beat the Steelers.
I'm taking the Bengals as well because if you look at Pittsburgh, their offense has kind of regressed. Russell's kind of starting to remind me of Justin Fields. They're not putting up a lot of points. And I think this is do or die once again for the Bengals. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Burrow, 4 touchdowns, at least 3 touchdowns, and I got to go with the Bengals.
Seahawks and Jets. Man, I'm tired of taking the Jets. I'm gonna take the Seahawks because I'm just tired of writing Jets on my paper.
Don't even ask. I'm taking Geno Smith and company roll on. Aaron Rodgers has to decide if he's gonna even finish out the year. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Now remember, this is a revenge game because Geno used to play for the Jets. So
I'm still going, even if it wasn't a revenge game. I just think we've seen what the Jets bring to the table, and it's not a whole lot. So I think Seattle's the better team, clearly the better team.
We have the Titans coming off of a win over the Texans last weekend. The Commanders coming off of a very heartbreaking loss to the Cowboys. I think it flip-flops this weekend. The Commanders bounce back. Give me Commanders over the Titans.
Commanders kind of reminded me of the Texans as far as going backwards, but I think they have enough in the tank to win this game. We got to talk. What about the Rookie of the Year? Has that been sealed yet? I think Daniels was the early leader. I don't see that anymore, but I'm going to take the Commanders.
I would say that I picked Bo Nix. I picked Bo Nix before the year started. I'm sticking with Bo Nix.
That's a really good choice.
I think Bo, he hasn't Caitlin Clark separated himself from the field, but it's getting very close to that.
Right
point
now, I would have Bo Nix as the Rookie of the Year. And I'm taking the Commanders to win that game.
Rams and Saints. Saints coming off of a bye. Rams coming off of, well, I don't know what they're coming off of.
McVay.
This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go with the Rams. I like the Rams, but I think they're just a tad bit better than the Saints.
I'm only going to take him because I saw Aaron Donald was asked if he's going to return to playing. So since I saw him and his wife looking happy, and he's a former Ram, I'm going to go with the Rams.
Got to take the Rams for Coach Gio as well. Buccaneers and Panthers. I'm sorry. You know, Carolina's been looking pretty good lately.
Yeah,
they've been something.
What's that guy's name? They almost beat. Who did they play last week? Bryce Young. Who did they play?
Oh God.
Didn't they play the Chiefs recently?
They did. That was the last week. They played the Chiefs last week.
Because I remember Mahomes hugging Bryce Young. So that means Bryce is getting better.
He's getting really good. Chiefs had to use a last-second field goal to win that game against the Panthers. And I remember telling you and Gio at the beginning of the year that the Panthers are not going to be as bad as they had been. They're going to be an improved team, still finish last in the division, but I think they're an improved team. They're improved so much, Derek, for the first time all year, I'm writing Panthers on my win column. Give me the Carolina Panthers to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have to go with Baker. I mean, this game is pivotal for the Buccaneers as we head down the stretch. I got to go Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Then you have the Battle of the Birds, Eagles and Ravens on Sunday.
Ooh-wee.
This is game of the week right here for us. Eagles, Ravens, Lamar coming off of a good victory over the Chargers. Eagles coming off of a good victory. I mean, this is the game. This is separating Lamar from a lot of people when it comes to MVP talk. I love me the Ravens because they're at home. I love the Eagles because I think they've got a better offensive firepower than what the Ravens have. But Lamar is MVP for a reason. And I think he comes back with a pretty good vengeance, Derek. I'm taking the Ravens. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
After 255 yards on the ground, and this is amazing because you're talking to me the two best running backs in the league by far.
Yeah.
And we don't know how Harbaugh is going to utilize, if he's going to utilize Derrick Henry. And we know if Derrick Henry doesn't get 20 rushes, they lose. And I think Saquon is out to send a message. Because if you look at it right now, Saquon could be the MVP. Do you agree with that?
Yes, he's in the talks. He could be. Yes.
I'm saying if they go by what a real MVP is, and you don't just go by being a quarterback, or they give it to the quarterback, Saquon has done more for his team than any other player in the league, other than maybe Josh Allen. So I'm going with the Eagles.
You're going Eagles, and I'll just say this: if I had to vote right now, because when you vote, I think you can vote 1, 2, 3 for MVP. 1 obviously is the first pick for you. I would vote Josh, Saquon, 1, 2. I would still put Josh Allen ahead of Saquon.
And who's third? Jared Goff?
Oh, yeah.
Why have nobody showing love to Jared Goff?
I would say Goff is up there. I would definitely put Jared Goff at 3. I can't put Lamar in the top 3. I can't put Derrick Henry in the top 3 right now. They're probably 4 and 5. I'm not going to lie right there. But for me, top 3, it would go Josh Allen, Saquon, and Jared Goff right now. 49ers and Bills. Speaking of Josh Allen, 49ers, I've heard people already talking about, just cancel the season. They're not going to win anything. We had told so many people already a year ago when they were in the Super Bowl, that was their final opportunity. The window was all but closed. Now you're seeing it. I get the injuries. I get it. McCaffrey's just coming back. I get Brandon Ayuk is out, but no, even without those injuries, that window was closing. And in fact, it was probably already shut. It's still going to remain closed right now. They've got the chains on the doors. They're closing the doors, are locking up everything. The Buffalo Bills are going to shut that door even more this week.
McCaffrey's not in shape yet. And then Debo, there's been trade talk for the fans talking about trading Debo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the team that's on the upward trend. Of course, that's the Buffalo Bills. Super Bowl bound Buffalo Bills.
Super Bowl bound Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC right now. One of the hottest teams in the AFC, and one of the surprise teams has always been this year's the Broncos, man, with Bo Nix, front runner for Rookie of the Year. Browns and Broncos, I still see, Mile High, Empower Field at Mile High, Denver, Colorado. I just love Bo Nix, man. I think Bo Nix, I'm not going to go Chris Collinsworth on Bo Nix, but I will say that Bo Nix is definitely Rookie of the Year, and he's going to show you why on Monday night in a national televised game. Give me the Broncos to beat the Browns.
I'm going with the team 5,280 feet above sea level. Go Broncos.
Going Broncos, man. The Fighting John Elways is what we're going to call them right there. So we got our picks in. If you want to drop your picks, go to X, and all you got to do is go to @SuitTheLeague. Drop your picks in there. You go perfect for the week. College football or NFL, you get a pretty big prize here. So we're going to be posting our picks starting tomorrow morning. I'll post the NFL and we'll post the NCAA picks for everybody. But before we go, Derek, what is the go-to meal? And I know turkey, I know ham, but what's the go-to Thanksgiving meal for you? Like, what is something on there that probably isn't traditional Thanksgiving for you?
Well, some people, I don't know if they have, what a miniature chicken is, Cornish hen.
I've heard Cornish hen, yeah.
For me, it would be Cornish hen, man. And then you give me some potato salad, of course. Probably some green beans. I'm pretty traditional, but for me, it would be the Cornish hen. I'm not big on turkey. I'm not really a big turkey guy. I can eat it. Yeah. But sometimes you get kind of burned out with the turkey and the ham, and you want to go away from tradition. So for me, if my family's listening, Cornish hen.
Last thing a lot of listeners want to know pie-wise. What's the go-to pie for you on Thanksgiving?
Sweet potato pie or pecan.
Yeah, man, that's a good one because normally you would think pumpkin and apple would be 1-2 for most people's list right there.
I don't even eat apple pie. Man, I've never eaten apple pie in my life.
Never in your life?
Yeah, I tried it as a child for just a taste, but I wasn't my cup of tea, I'll say. So for me, give me the pecan or the sweet potato pie. I miss my mom. Been 5 years since I've had her sweet potato pies, and she used to make them strictly for Derek. My family come to eat, and she would have 1 or 2 over there with my name on them. Do not touch those. Those are for Derek. So, Mom, I love you, but I'm going to miss that part. But, yes, that and pecan pie would be excellent for me with some ice cream.
Oh, God. I've actually gained a couple of pounds the last couple of days since, the weekend over the week's already started. I'm going to eat a little bit more tomorrow. Then I'm going to get back on my weight training class here because I kind of told myself I got to enjoy the holidays a little bit more, and I can always work it off, no problem. But for me, I want to say apple crumble pie has been on my go-to lately. I'm not a big turkey guy. I'm not a big ham guy, but I will eat some turkey. 1 year, I'm not going to lie to you. Before we go, I went and got Chipotle the day before Thanksgiving.
I told my girlfriend, you like that Chipotle. Every time I said, that's Rudy's place, Chipotle.
I got Chipotle to eat it on Thanksgiving. I had it the next day.
One of their bowls, huh?
I got 2. So I had 2 bowls, and I ate those the next day. That's how strict I was on my diet for a while there. But, hey, man, I hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody out there enjoys Thanksgiving as well. We're going to be back next week. We're taking the whole weekend off. We may pop in here and there the next couple of days with some updates and stuff like that. But, Derek, man, I hope you enjoy the holidays, and we'll definitely be in touch with you.
You and your family as well. And all the listeners out there, thank you once again for being a part of the show. And I hope you have a safe and a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Everybody be safe out there. Enjoy all the good food. Show us some pictures of the food, man. I'd love to see all these people's spreads out there. But for Hall of Famer Derek, for Coach Gio, for the entire crew of Sweep the League, Rudy Campos Jr., wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good night, everybody.